It was Christmas Eve, 2000. We had $20 left. We'd started up on crack early that evening, and now the money was gone and we were in trouble. $20 worth of crack is nothing once you've taken your first hit already. It won't even sustain you. It'll delay the crash for maybe 10 minutes. Try and split a $20 rock in two and you might as well light the bill itself and try and get high off the fumes. It was 11 o'clock and Susan was on my last fucking nerve, begging and wheedling and pushing me to go out and score more crack. I'm not going out there, I told her. That's it. At least we have $20 for tomorrow. The place is crawling with pigs. Everyone is drunk and high and crazy. Anyway, it's Christmas Eve, for Christ's sakes. All of the dealers are gonna be back home. The only people out there are gonna be scam artists looking to rip off stupid white kids out trying to score. She was cleaning out the pipe, trying to find a grain of residue that she had missed on the previous 5 rounds of cleaning the pipe. The pipe was as clean as it could be. It was gleaming. I knew it was futile. She knew it was futile, but she persisted in heating up the stem and using a piece of wire to drag the Brillo through the glass repeatedly, trying to pick up some melted cocaine. Then I'll go. You're not going. I'll go, I'm a girl, they'll cut me a break. Yeah, they'll cut your fucking throats, I laughed at her. Now don't be so fucking stupid. We're gonna need heroin tomorrow. I'm not spending my last $20 on a rock, it's over. Go take some pills and go to sleep. She continued to clean the pipe, holding it up to her lips for a futile attempt at smoking the residue, cursing and getting back to work. You are a motherfucker, she told me matter-of-factly. And you're a fucking crackhead. You're out of your fucking mind, now give it up, Susan. She carried on scraping the pipe and tried to take another hit. Of course, it was nothing. Then she started to cry, big, heavy, heaving sobs like hot needles inserted into my nerve endings. Then she picked up one of my books, one of the big ones, Celine maybe, or a dictionary or a medical book, I don't remember. She held it in both of her hands, gripping it tightly until the knuckles turned white before she started to smash herself in the face with it, her sobs becoming more frenzied and grating with every thump. After the 4th or 5th one, I yelled at her to knock it off and grab my keys. I'm going, you stupid cunt, I grumbled. I won't be long. The streets of LA were alive with junkies, dealers, and all kinds of human flotsam. Most of them were rip-off artists. On more than one occasion, I'd been sold soap or some other unpleasant-tasting shit instead of the crack I wanted. I retraced the steps I'd taken earlier, hoping to locate the last guy I'd bought off. I turned the corner and tried to locate the kid's spot. I coughed and tried to draw attention to myself, and the bastard popped up right on cue. Psst! We did the deal and I split back for our place. Sirens provided constant background noise, as did the throbbing of helicopters circling overhead. I was thinking about nothing as I stepped off the curb and into the path of an LAPD patrol car. Lights blazing, sirens roaring, speeding towards me. I had no time to react. I was bathed in light momentarily as my feet left the ground and my whole being shook. I flipped back, weightless and graceful, a moment that seemed to stretch into infinity. I couldn't even process the information until I bounced off the car's hood and back onto the tarmac with a yell of shock. I looked up and saw 2 cops looking down at me like angels of doom. "You okay?" asked one of the cops. "Yeah," I said, getting to my feet gingerly. The other cop radioed into the station as I started to feel warm blood trickling down my left leg. "You just stepped out," the cop nearest me, a virtual man-mountain with a buzz cut, said. "We couldn't stop. We were in pursuit. Didn't you hear the sirens?" Well, of course I heard the sirens, I thought, but I thought I heard them so often all night that I'd begun to block them out like all of the other city noise. I was concentrating more on getting me and the crack back indoors. Oh, Jesus. The crack. My stomach began to churn and fear welled up inside of me. I started to talk fast. You know, I wasn't concentrating on what I was doing, officers. Preoccupied. Completely my fault. I'm really sorry. What are you doing out here? This isn't a good neighborhood. Well, I live right over there. I'm on my way home. Well, we're gonna radio for an ambulance to have you checked out. Oh, no need. I insisted. I'm fine. Listen, my wife's at home and she's gonna freak out if I'm not back in 20 minutes. You know how it is in this neighborhood. I'd rather just go home and forget about it. The cops eyed me for a while. It was quite obvious to them that I was half out of my mind on narcotics. It was also obvious that I could create a bunch of paperwork for them if I went to the hospital because they'd hit me while I was crossing the road. They didn't want the paperwork and I didn't want to have my pockets turned out. Well, said the cop with a buzz cut, if you're sure you're alright. Oh, positive, I'd be never better. Happy Christmas, officers. Yeah, you too, they growled, getting back in the car. I limped back into the guest house. I sat down and rolled up my pant leg, exposing a large, ugly gash running up my shin. Jesus, Susan said, coming over to look. What happened? I got knocked over by a fucking cop car, and they let me go. I told you it's a mess out there tonight. I never should have gone. Shit. I went to the bathroom and peeled off my bloody jeans, trying to wash the dirt out of the wound as best I could. Susan popped her head in the door after a few minutes. You could have been busted, she said quietly. I know, or killed, imagine that. Killed on Christmas Eve by a speeding cop car, Jesus. Susan smiled a little and said, pretty funny, huh? I just glowered at her. No, I said, not really. Did you get the rock? I sighed and nodded toward my bloody jeans. She retrieved it and scuttled out of the room. I got cleaned up and found her playing with the pipe, exhaling white smoke. I limped over and said, where's mine? She handed me the pipe. I held the lighter up and took a long drag. Nothing. Not even the glimmer of something. Where's the rest? I asked her. You killed this one. That's it. That's it? Yeah, it was a small rock. That's it. Oh, well, thanks, I told her. That's fucking great. Thank you so fucking much. Don't yell at me, she said, before adding quietly. It is Christmas, you know. I looked at the clock. 10 after midnight. Well, she was right about something. It was Christmas. I looked out of the window and could see nothing but vast, endless black. Somewhere out there was the moon and the stars and the Pacific Ocean, but from where I was looking, I could have been 1,000 feet underground. I could hear her, somewhere behind me, starting to nervously clean out the pipe again. It would be less than an hour before she started up again, maybe 2 before she started bashing herself in the face with my books and sobbing. But for now, for a moment, there was peace on earth.